After back-to-back business meetings and 3 crucial bilaterals yesterday, Prime Minister Modi will end his big bilaterals at the White House with the most anticipated in-person meeting with the U.S. President Joe Biden. And then just a couple of hours later, the U.S. President Joe Biden will convene the much-anticipated first in-person Quad Leadership Summit with the 3 prime ministers of the Quad Alliance, including Scott Morrison, Yoshihide Suga, and Prime Minister Modi. Now, this comes months after a virtual summit among the leaders. The crucial Quad meet is set against the backdrop of a range of issues grappling the Indo-Pacific region. And on the agenda of the Quad Summit is clear: an open and free Indo-Pacific, the coronavirus pandemic, the manufacture and supply of COVID vaccines, addressing the climate crisis, and partnering on emerging technologies and cyberspace. Now, earlier in July, Biden's Indo-Pacific coordinator, Kurt Campbell, had said that the long-planned in-person meeting should bring decisive commitments on vaccine diplomacy and infrastructure. Japanese media has stated that any talks between the 4 countries would likely also touch upon Afghanistan, as well as offer a chance to present a united front before a G20 meeting in Rome in October. The summit is being seen as a challenge to China. The high-level meeting comes a few days after the United States and Australia, along with the United Kingdom, announced the AUKUS deal. The aim of this deal is to contain Beijing's growing influence in the Indo-Pacific. Under the AUKUS deal, the U.S. will provide Australia 8 nuclear-powered submarines in an effort to boosting Australia's naval prowess.
In close cooperation with the United Kingdom and the United States. I'm very pleased to join.
Now, for more on this, joining us live from London is Alexander Downer, former Foreign Minister of Australia. Thank you for being with us on this broadcast. We'll jump right in. The much-awaited in-person meeting of Quad Nations is soon to take place. Now, what are the expectations from today's meet between the leaders?
Well, I think the most important thing about it is the symbolism of the meeting. This symbolism is going to be much more important than the substance. You've covered in your introduction what will be covered during the discussions. But the symbolism that these 4 leaders are sending out to the Indo-Pacific region is that this is a region which must have a balanced power if it's to proceed in peace. It can't be dominated by any one country. And of course, that's code for China. It's not to be turned into a Chinese sphere of influence. It's to be an open region where every country is able to play its part and maintain a high degree of autonomy.
Right. Now, Alexander, there's been plenty of talk about the AUKUS Pact and its effect on the Quad. What are your views here?
Well, it won't have any direct effect on the Quad as such, but it's part of the same general theme. You see, the trouble with China is it's become richer and more powerful, and we obviously welcome the fact that it's become richer. But what it is also trying to do now is try to subjugate other countries in the region as client states. And I don't think anyone wants to see that. And so what the AUKUS agreement does is make sure that the best available technology is transferred amongst the closest of all allies, the United States, the United Kingdom and Australia. And so the specific focus of it is on nuclear-powered submarines. If Australia has nuclear-powered submarines rather than conventional submarines, obviously it improves very substantially the potency of Australia's submarine deterrent force. And this contributes more broadly to the balance of power in the region. It sends a message, it makes it clear that no one country can dominate the Indo-Pacific region. It is a zone of peace and tranquility where power is appropriately shared amongst many.
Absolutely. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much for being with us and your views on all the latest coming out of the upcoming Quad meeting. Alexander Downer.
WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.